Hey, what is going on everyone? My name is Voster Gaming, and in today's video we are back for a Photoshop tutorial. So I've had a few requests of people that they wanted me to do one. So yeah, we're gonna do one today. I'm gonna go through some basic tools, as you can see down here on the left side of the screen, and then eventually I'll get around to doing more advanced things like blending and just adding effects and things like that. So let's start off by getting our tab ready basically. So first thing we're gonna do is come to File and New, and this is where everything starts. So you can name it anything you want. This is where the important part comes in. I usually keep my resolution at 100. I believe it is usually set to 70. I always set it to 100 just because it makes quality better. So width and height, these are your two main things in this little box area. So for basically my thumbnails for my YouTube videos, if I'm going to record in 720p or render them in 720p, you're going to want to do 1280 by 720. Make sure you get it this way, otherwise it's going to be like the opposite way around. You'll see that in a minute. So basically, if you're going to record in 1080p, then basically you're going to want to set this to 1920 by 1080. So pretty simple. If you just want a square, then you're going to do the width and the height by itself. So for example, 500 by 500, and that'll make a perfect square. You've got to remember to do it by itself though, because otherwise it's not going to be a perfect square. Make sure that you're going to put this to transparent, otherwise you're going to have a background. It's either going to be white background color, which is you basically choose. Transparent is like nothing, see-through basically, so you can have anything you want. If these should be already set, make sure these are on pixels / inch, and RGB color, you don't want to add anything else because it messes up the format when you're about to save it sometimes. Keep it on 8-bit, which is your color. So if it's on a 16-bit, it's brighter, 32-bit brighter. Again, 8-bit is perfect. So now I'm going to click OK. So here we are. This is the 1920 by 1080, and what I meant by if you did it the opposite way around, it would be exactly like this. Just basically there's landscape and there's portrait, and I'm sure it would be portrait if you did it the opposite way around. So now that we have our transparent layer, we're going to go to File, I'm going to go to Place. So I only have my YouTube folder on my desktop, as you can see right here. This is my desktop. So going back into this, and this is where I keep all of my things, so for editing, intros, everything. So I'm going to go into where I keep all my images, and I'm going to get just a simple image, but I'll be back in a second because it's going to take me a while to choose one. Alright guys, so I've chose my image, and what you're going to do is go to these corner parts, and you're going to hold Shift and Alt at the very same time, and then you can drag this about to however you want it, and it'll keep it the same, just smaller or bigger. See, if I let go of this, like you can see, it will do that. If I let go of both, I can rescale this to anything that I want. So I'm going to make this bigger by holding them two down, and you're going to want to get this box area outside of the frame, otherwise you can see the transparent background. You don't want that, so just have it a little bit bigger than the box, and then click this tick at the top. Now that we are done with that, we've got our image in. So now most things you need to rasterize the layer. So if you right click on the layer is at the right side. This is where all your things will come up here. You're going to right click and rasterize it. So what that means is it'll make it editable, so that we can cut the image out if we want, or anything to do with that. So I'm going to go through the text tool for the starters, because that's basic ones. You've got all your fonts. You can get these off a really cool website called thefont.com. I'll leave it in the description down below. So I'm going to choose a nice font to start off with, and I already know one that I use in some of my thumbnails called Soup of Justice. So I have this set to 50. This is your size of your text, and I'm going to set that to 100. So here we are. Actually, I might change that up to 200. So there we go. Now it's a bit bigger. I'm gonna write tutorial. So now that we have that wrote in, you have to once again click a little tick at the top. Now go make sure, if you want to move it around, always go back to the select tool at the top of the left side on your tools like section part, and then you can move it about. So basically, if you want to center this, say it's over here and you want to center it, most people will just do this and try to get it much in the middle, but a lot easier way is by clicking Control and A, which will make this border around your screen, and then you've got these options at the top of your screen. So both middle ones, there's 6 here, and both middle ones for the first 3, you want to click them, and then that one, and that'll center it right in the middle. But for this tutorial, I don't want it right there. So if you want to deselect it, then click Control D, and I just want it around there. I'm going to click Control A. Now I can center this where I want. So there we go. So that's the first part of the video. Right, so basically I'm going to go through a little blending tutorial. So you're going to right click on your layer of like your text, and you're going to go to blending options. This will bring up this box here, and this is where all the editing is done, apart from this area as well, but most of it is done here. So first off the bat, we're going to want to change the color or something like that. I usually keep it a nice white. I don't know why. I might give it a gradient. A gradient would be kind of nice, but what I do for some of my thumbnails, this is how I make this little effect. Put it as white, go to drop shadow, change the opacity to 100. Distant is basically how far away from the text you want it. I usually keep it at 0, and I usually change this to around 33 depending on the size of the text. So now that gives it quite a cool effect. I'm going to click OK with that. So tutorial, and I might even right underneath there change the size to 100. Velocity. Yep, that's how you spell it. Game. That's not how you spell gaming. Gaming. Alright, so I can center this now. If I center this, then I can deselect, and I can make this bigger again, just like the image at the background when we imported it, to the same size as that, which gives that cool effect. And if you want the same effect on the tutorial image, like the text, then all you have to do is right click on it, go to copy layer style, right click on your other text and paste. It's basically copy and pasting, so that'll give that a cool effect. So basically, text tutorial out the way. I'll do some more text things later on in the future, different videos. Alright, so now that we're done with the text, now we're gonna move on to the I guess we can move on to the polygonal lasso tool. So for you guys, it's gonna say lasso tool. Just click and hold and go onto the polygonal tool, which is, I'll just call it the poly tool, I guess. So you want to select this one, and basically what this tool is, it's like basically a pair of scissors. Basically what we can do now, you need to select the image as well, so make sure it's blue. And what we can do with this is we can cut out icons, well, anything you want on your screen. I'm just going to do this quite fast. I'm not going to do it any slow. I just want to give a example of how we do this. So I'll be back in a minute once we're done. Alright guys, now that we are back, as you can see, I drew all the way around these XMGs. And again, it's not perfect. I'm just doing this as fast as I can for tutorial purposes. So once again, you're going to want to right click inside this area, and you want to go to layer via cut. This will only work once again if you've rasterized the layer to make it editable. So now you've got 2 separate layers of that one image. What this means is that these are now separate. You can do anything you want with this layer and it won't happen to this layer. So what I'm going to do is, this is how I do it for my videos, where I've got the little outline around something in the image. I right click, I go to blending options like we did from the text tool, and I go to stroke. So you can see this puts a little stroke around, but that I don't really want that, seeing as though I've got like the gunfire there. So what I'm going to do first, before we go into blending options, I am actually going to go into layer. I'm going to go that. I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm actually going to get rid of that background. So yeah, it looks a little weird, but I'm going to choose another image to replace that background with. So here we are, I'm back, and I've chosen the layer, well, the image I want. Make sure to readjust the layers. You just drag and drop. So now that we have it like this, I'm actually going to need, well, maybe, but I'm going to rasterize this layer just in case. I'm going to select this one again. So now that we've done that, I need to add a layer mask right here. You click that little like camera looking thing and make sure the white box is selected. Then go to the brush tool, and you can change the size from here like this. I'm going to keep mine around that, and I'm actually going to blend in the burst fire, like the firing from the guns, with the image to give it a cleaner look than just like jagged edges, and it'll make it a whole lot better. Right, so as you can see, this is not perfect. I know it looks a bit weird, but yet again, I'm doing this just for tutorial purposes, as quick as I can. So now that we have these out of the way, what I usually like to do is make sure you select that again, go to blending options, and from here I'm going to add a drop shadow, which I usually like to do. Make sure to have that down. I'm going to put it quite low, seeing as though, let's say, not even that. I'm going to make that 11. So as you can see, it makes it look a lot weird. So usually when you've got an image, it won't look like this, but I'm gonna actually take off the blending options by doing Control Z, which is undo, and I'm just going to, I can add an outer glow. I'm just showing you all the tools that you can use. So an outer glow would look pretty cool. You can change the opacity, which is basically the transparency of it. And I'm gonna go to the color selector here. I usually go to a solid color, which is right like in the corner, and I'm gonna choose a nice like purple color, and then you can change the size of it like that. Spread is basically how big it comes out, like as you can see, like that. It gives it a okay look, and I'm gonna put this above these two, so then when you see over the Velocity Gaming thing, it actually shows up over it, which gives it a cool look. And you can change anything you want with these. Like for instance, what I usually like to do is go to place, and say I choose a cool image like this sunburst one. Now it's over, I need to put this right over the top, if I can do it. So now where it says normal, you click that and go to overlay, and then you've got your cool little sunburst image. And change the opacity. I'm going to put it down between these two. I'm actually going to turn the opacity back up, and I want to change the color of this. Alright, so now we've basically gone through the easy steps. Not too difficult for beginners. Maybe you might need to watch this through again, but these are some of the easy steps that you really just need to know. I'm probably gonna make a better thumbnail than this for the actual video itself, but yeah, hopefully you did enjoy it. Please make sure to leave it a thumbs up, like the video, comment for more tutorials, what you want me to do, or anything like that, just video ideas in general, and I'll see you on the next one. My name is Velocity Gaming, and I'm signing out. Peace.